The deeper I get into road cycling, the tighter my clothing becomes, and that's never been more true than today. I'm wearing my first one-piece speed suit. However, I don't have the qualifications to do some YouTube bro science. I don't have access to a wind tunnel. I've never chased middle-aged men around a office parking lot. And perhaps most importantly, my fitness is about as low as it's ever been. But don't worry, this video is more than just a cautionary tale of how a midlife crisis will lead to you wearing Lycra. I'm actually going to provide real value because I have something better than a wind tunnel. Friends. Do you have a speed suit?
I do. Yeah.
I feel like there's some pressure that comes along with it.
It's all fun and games until you gotta pee.
And they're going to help me answer the most important question of all. Does this make me look fast?
Instead of the traditional two-piece bibs and a jersey, a speed suit is one garment. It's lighter, it's more aerodynamic. That's why the pros wear onesies. But are those advantages worth it for us normies? We're gonna find out with this, Attaquer's new EXOsuit. They gave it to me. And they are not paying for this specific video, but they are a year-long sponsor, so in that way, this is a sponsored video. Thanks for being a good partner, Attaquer. I'll show you what it looks like in just a second, but first I have kind of like an issue, and that is this right here. If you zoom in on all of that, you'll see that I have hair all over my legs. I haven't shaved my legs basically since I made a video about why cyclists shave their legs last year. Val, my wife, does not like how my shaved legs feel.
Ouch. Cactus. I don't like that.
If I have a speed suit, I can't wear a speed suit with hairy legs, right? There's something that just feels wrong. So I asked Val, I got permission. I got the okay to shave.
This is Kathy's Corner. You might recognize it from La La Land. But that movie's a lie. There's no neighborhood around here, so I don't know where they were coming from. Doesn't matter. Today we're going to use it for a fit check. So let's do that.
So I've never really done a fit check before. I guess you're supposed to like spin or something. So yeah, this is it. As you can see, it's one piece. It's got these pockets. That's good in case you get hungry on a ride. Oh, and check this out. Zips all the way down in the front. This was a big concern with a lot of my friends, as you'll see in the interviews. Sometimes you're on a ride and you know, nature calls and you got to go to the bathroom. Apparently a lot of speed suits, this is difficult to do, but check this out. Oh yeah, easy. You're just relieving yourself. Don't do it in public. Make sure you're, you know, I didn't actually do that. Fit check.
Anybody else want me to awkwardly interview about speed suits? Would you rather have a speed suit and a slow bike or a fast bike and regular clothes?
And trying to go fast?
Yeah, your same fitness. You are still you.
I guess the former, the speed suit with a slower bike.
Jason, same question.
Fast bike, jeans. Let's go. The Canadian tuxedo.
No, speed suit all the way, baby. Give me a steel bike and give me like one of those like all human condoms like Lance did in the 1999, the all blue one. That's like every day.
All right, I gotta say something. I risked my relationship for this video. I shaved my legs and not one person at the group ride today commented on how smooth and shaved my legs looked. Anyway, let's review this speed suit. First impressions. Maybe recency bias, but as I was kind of rolling to this little section of the park where I was planning to film this bit, there's a flat section. It's like a minute and a half long. If I'm just doing like my zone 2 pace, 19 to 20 miles an hour on the flat when I'm riding this still bike. I looked down and I was doing 24 miles an hour, which in kilometers is... Oh, thank you, future Mitch. Now look, it's a small sample size. It's not statistically significant, obviously. But throughout the ride today on the flats, I did feel, buzzword, slippery. Last time I felt this slippery was the first time I rode the Cervelo S5. Now, am I saying that this speed suit makes you as fast as being on an aero bike? Yeah. Am I qualified to say that? No. I'm just a YouTuber, man.
I have a thought, actually.
Okay.
It says race on the back.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you're encouraging anyone to race you? Like someone can just pull up and say, Mitch, let's
Like when
go.
you wear a t-shirt that says free hugs.
Yeah, it's like that.
I like that.
All I can really tell you is how it felt to me. And today, with my fitness in its current state, which is honestly not great historically for me, I felt fast on the flats, really fast on the downhills. On the uphills, I'm as slow as I ever was. I'll look at the Strava data and maybe I was a little bit faster, but it didn't feel like this really helped me that much. And the climb that I did today, I'm riding at like 10, maybe 12 miles an hour. So it's technically fast enough for aero benefits, but I also weigh 10 pounds heavier than I did at my fastest time up that climb. And my bike is loaded with all this production equipment, and it's not a lightweight carbon bike, it's a steel frame. So, there's no testing there. It's all just ride feel.
When do you pull out the speed suit?
I have 2 speed suits that I only wear whenever I have a 20-minute interval or an FTP test, or like all my other kits are dirty. I've worn a speed suit to class. Because I bike to school, and I usually teach in kit. One day I had no kits left. I had this one. They're undergrads, They're okay. They're okay. I'm sitting down most of the time. But this is like, if you gotta go fast on the bike, you gotta go fast in the classroom too.
What's your opinion on wearing speed suits at group rides?
Oh, I'm into it, dude.
Really?
Yeah, you in one? Oh no.
Wait, why did...
You know what I didn't know was I didn't realize it was.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't see the back. The biggest aerodynamic gain is a speed suit.
I'm too old for a speed suit. I'm a 48-year-old man. Like I'm like just like
Never too old.
this is like as far as I could really go. Speed suit I don't think is gonna get me the extra 10 years.
I think it's more about the vibe that you bring to the group ride, because I think the group ride, it's in the name, you're riding with other people, and so if your intention is to just time trial off the front, then you're not a part of the group ride anymore.
Luckily, I don't have the fitness to...
Is there like a bit of hesitation wearing one for a group ride? I feel like there's some pressure that comes along with it. But I feel like with anything, like with fitness, if you're feeling good and you throw that speed suit on, I think the mental gain is as much, probably a lot more, than the actual aero gain of a couple watts at 70 kilometers an hour or something.
Interestingly, I do feel like a little more exposed in this thing than I do in like a normal bib shorts jersey combo. I don't know if it's just because it almost feels like I'm not wearing pants, which is a little bit weird.
Like it would be hard to go to the bathroom if you had to.
I think I'm with Zach. It's all fun and games until you gotta pee. And like we're talking like the 2-minute like roadside pit stop.
Yeah.
I don't think I have it in me to go full down.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I just don't have the overhauls. I'm not wearing my cycling lederhosen, and it feels, I don't know, a little different. It does feel like one piece because it is. So there's just like a smoother transition. And there's nothing to hide like the lumpiness around my stomach. Although I have heard like having a little bit of a belly is more aero. So maybe that's my subconscious really trying to help me out. My favorite part again though is like this area around the shoulders. It feels slippery. Maybe it's just because that's the only area that's ribbed. There's something about it. It's kind of like that first time you ride like a carbon bike and you're like, oh, this feels a little more responsive, a little bit zippier. And it's probably like in my head, but maybe it's not. Which brings me to my next point. Is this maybe the best bang for your buck if you want to go a little bit faster? I mean, it's expensive, right? It's $390, but like my friend Colton said,
They're very economical. I think they're very It's one garment that's 2 garments. I own a couple. I've worn them to... Actually, I probably wear them more on recovery rides than I do on real group rides. Because usually they come out when I've run out of...
speed suits for recovery rides.
Speed suits for recovery rides.
I mean, this is cheaper than a high performance set of bibs and jersey. But I'm going to take it a step further. If what all my friends were saying is true, that they would prefer a speed suit over like a fast aero bike,
Speed suit all the way, baby.
$390 is a lot cheaper than an aero bike. Even compared to carbon wheels, It's a lot cheaper. I guess the problem with that argument is you could ride your carbon wheels or your aero bike every single day. If you try to wear this every single day, after a couple days, you're going to smell pretty bad. But you know, cycling is a sport of sacrifices, and you've made all these sacrifices to get faster, build your fitness, deplete your bank account. Maybe it's time for your friends to make a sacrifice and ignore your smell. What do you think? Do you think it's worth it for a normal rider like me to have a speed suit? Do you have a speed suit? What's your experience been? I'm curious to hear about it in the comments. Let me know. But before I let you go, I have to answer the question we started the video with. The most important question. Do I look fast?
You look fast.
All right, that's all that matters. Do you ever trim the beard before?
I think, isn't that there's some sort of aerodynamic gain to be made by gelling it in a certain way. But I think there's something to do with like a trip layer or something, right? It's like the dimpled wheels.